Hi friends, this is Dr. Nagendra. Happy International Yoga Day to you all. No, I am not going to teach any yogasanas or pranayamas in this video. Let us celebrate the spirit of yoga, the spirit of Indian scientific legacy in this video. Come, let us join. The ancient India was called by many as the Soneki Chidiya, that means golden bird of the world. The ancient Indian technological inventions used to puzzle my little mind little bit. I used to astonish. See, there is a similarity between the 9 planets of modern astronomy and 9 planets of ancient astronomy too. The path-breaking mathematical inventions like zero by Aryabhatta makes me a proud Indian indeed. We celebrate the helicopter sketches done by Leonardo da Vinci, but very few Indians are aware of the ancient book by name Vaimanika Shastra. This book, has more than dozens of flying objects, the designs of flying objects. It seems they have used mercury as a fuel. Very strange. Even today's modern scientists believe that mercury can be used as a fuel. Sushruta, a sage of Ayurveda, is hailed as the first surgeon to conduct plastic surgery. We all know that. Many surgical instruments used by him are still in use. Very strange, right? India had the first university by the name Takshashila. It is believed to be the first in the world. India pioneers in constructing astronomical observations like Jantar Mantar. This list is very heavy and goes on. Many foreign philosophers, religious leaders, activists like Huan Sang, Fahen from China, Al-Biruni, Ibn Battuta from Russia, Marco Polo, Nicole Conti from Italy, Afani Nikitin from Russia, are few to name. Do not forget the deflected discovery of Columbus. It was a failure, but he got the name. But originally he was trying to find out a route for India. Western world always celebrated conquerors of land and material wealth, whereas on the contrary, ancient Indians always celebrated those who conquered themselves and their self. They called them as Mahavirs, Yogi Maharajas. They celebrated Indian book Mahabharata says, there is no strength equal to yoga. Lord Krishna, the hero of Mahabharata and Bhagavad Gita, is hailed as Yogacharya. These people believed of self-realization. Introspection is the key to inventions and discoveries in India. Union of mind and body connects us to the universal energy. Yogic science helps to achieve universal consciousness. They call it as Yat Pinde Tat Brahmande. That is today's microcosm versus macrocosm. Now, my question is how these ancient Indians achieved and did all these things without any proper so-called modern scientific training? Either ancient Indians possessed a technology which is equal to modern technology, or they have a capacity to reach the universal truth by their yogic practices. The credit of keeping yoga alive in its form goes to Ayurveda medical system. Patanjali, a Naga yogi, in his work explained the original 8 parts of yoga called Ashtanga Yoga. It has 8 parts like Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratihara, Dharana, Dhyana and Samadhi. Samadhi is the state of detachment from the world. It is a state of universal happiness. Yoga calls it as Yoga Chitta Vriddhi Nirodhaka. Nischinto Yoga Uchyate. Yoga is actually, in true form, union of mind and body to achieve the universal truth. But in modern India, the concept has changed. We have limited yoga to only a bodily form, only to yogasanas, which is only a part of yoga. It is not the pure yoga and full yoga. Yoga has celebrated around 6,000 years of its existence in India, dating back to Kapila Rishi to Harappa civilization, Mohenjo-daro to modern India. Modernization of yoga, I feel, has reduced or diluted the true spirit of yoga. Today, we can see in the name of modernization so many branches of yoga sporting out, like partner yoga, kundalini yoga, chakra yoga, and only hatha yoga. So, yoga has been broken into parts by them. But according to original scriptures, any individual can follow yoga by four parts like Kriya Yoga, Gnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, and Karma Yoga. The Karma Yogi has to concentrate only on his activity with great effort. He need not worry about the worship of God. Bhakti Yoga is nothing but believing that path of devotion towards God is the only path to salvation or achieving the true universal truth. Kriya Yoga says, purify your body and mind and soul by physical and mental practices as depicted or explained in Vedas. Gnana Yoga is nothing but realizing what you know and what you don't know, and try to learn and perfect yourself by learning the new things to realization of God or universal truth. Every human being in this world wants to live a pure and noble life. But stressful life causes friction leading to many psychological or psychiatric disabilities. For example, we all know taking bribe is wrong, but practically it seems impossible. So because of the social norms, the modern social norms, we may be forced to do so. As an example, we started believing today that in this modern world it is not possible to practice yoga as it is. Maybe in my belief, the medieval period, the East India colonization by Britishers, and the industrial civilization, material concepts towards the life has almost killed the true soul of yoga today. But Swami Vivekananda gives an answer to this. Yes, it is possible to practice yoga as it is today. He brought yoga practically into the lives of modern Indian youth. Today, yoga is an international brand. Yoga helps in arising this scientific spirit in today's youth by purifying mind and body. And my dear homeopaths, we can apply the yoga principles to homeopathy treatment also. Remember 286 to 291 aphorisms where Heinemann explains therapeutic measures other than drugs. So along with your homeopathic medicines, the yogic practices like Surya Namaskara, asanas, yogas, and dietetic techniques can be advocated to your lovable patients, and you can achieve the cure as per the Heinemannian principles. So, the youth of India, arise, awake, stop not till the goal is reached. Once again, happy International Yoga Day to you all. Thank you.